Welcome to Intermittent Fasting for the Win. I'm Mike Saunders, author of the book Intermittent Fasting for the Win.
And I'm Jolene Ellis Wygand, longtime faster, preschool teacher, health advocate, and fitness coach at Curbs Clubs for Women.
Join with us as we endeavor to help you become more knowledgeable about intermittent fasting.
Whether it be an interview with a fellow faster or a podcast featuring a particular subject, we will be sure to give you the tips and information to make you a winner when it comes to IF.
The information provided in this presentation is for general knowledge and informational purposes only and does not constitute medical advice. It is beneficial to consult with a qualified healthcare professional for any health concerns or before making any decisions related to your health or treatment. This content is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Hey, this is Mike here. Jolene couldn't make it today, but I've got a wonderful co-host in Sheila Borie.
Hey.
Huh?
I just said hello.
You know her from before. She's been on the podcast with us before about her own personal story. And also she did several podcasts with Jolene and I about exercise. So today we're going to talk about food choices. And we're going to dive in deep and probably rat ourselves out a little bit, because it's good to confess sometimes, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Well, now, just a quick refresher. How long have you been practicing intermittent fasting, Sheila?
5.5 years.
Wow. You're so far ahead of me, it's a crime.
Oh.
And what is your normal eating window? You do time restricted eating. You eat every day, right?
Yes, I do. I eat typically anywhere between say 1:30 to 6:30, 2 o'clock to 7 o'clock. And that could be like a snack and a meal, or it could just be one meal. It just kind of depends. But yes, I try to stay within that time frame every day.
Okay. And when we say one meal, we're not talking one plate of food.
Oh, no.
We're talking one multi-course meal.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good. Well, what kind of foods would you prioritize that's going to help you to feel full and both energized during your fasting periods?
I think it's a balance of everything. I like my protein, whether it's tuna or chicken or whatever. But I also love my veggies, like my carrots and broccoli and celery, and I love avocados. I mean, I like bread. I don't eat bread all the time, but I do enjoy it. But I say it's a balance. I don't eliminate any food group at all.
And you like the sourdough bread, right?
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
And you were talking to me about the Aldi sourdough bread, and somebody else posted on the Facebook group the ingredients in it, and it looks like it's good stuff.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we've got
it's pretty decent. And I don't know. I'm sorry, what was that?
No, go ahead.
There's an app called Yuka. I don't know if you're familiar with it. But it gives you a score of a food on when you scan the label in the store. And all these sourdough bread gets a really good score. I think it's like 75 or 80. It's something out of 100. It's really a decent score. So, and it's not expensive. Now, I love to go to a farmer's market and get a real nice artesian loaf of bread, but you'll pay $12 for it.
Well, we've got a lady that lives about a mile from us, and she has one of those little roadside stands where she puts baked goods out there for sale, and she takes Cash App and all like that. Well, she wants $11 for a loaf of. Now, her sourdough bread's good, but
I'm sure.
But if I can get it for $3 at Aldi, that's where I probably need to buy it from.
That's what I started doing, and it's really good.
But then Vicky also makes a homemade bread. She's got a bread machine, and some years back, she perfected a recipe that uses whole wheat and honey and all the natural things, and it makes a wonderful, wonderful bread.
Nice.
So bread in moderation is good, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, now, do you focus on any specific dietary pattern like low carb or keto or plant-based?
I wouldn't say I'm necessarily on any kind of program or whatever, but I tend to go lower carb as far as like bread and rice and pasta. But that doesn't mean but I certainly will eat all the sweet potatoes and regular potatoes. But as far as like pasta, rice, and bread, I do eat it. It's not something that I really want all the time.
Okay, and you're like, you and Dan are like me and Vicky. We love every now and then to go get us some Mexican food.
Oh, yes, that's my weakness.
Oh, here we go. It's time to
Here we
rat
go.
out. Now, let me ask you a question.
Confession time.
Let me ask you a question about that Mexican
Uh-huh.
food. Okay. And I'm sure you have a favorite restaurant that you go to.
Yes.
We've got
Yes.
like two or three that we'll make the rounds and we'll go to this. But at any rate, here we go. My downfall is the chips and salsa.
Yep. And I like the cheese dip with it too.
Yeah. Now Vicky is like you. She's an avocado lover. Okay.
Mhm.
And she will, when the waiter comes to get the drink order, she will tell the waiter, bring me an avocado sliced up. And she will sit there and spread avocado on her chips and just about fill up before the food ever gets there.
That sounds delicious to me.
Yeah. So, so there are times when, like me, when it's not making a mistake.
No,
It's just, hey, I'm going to enjoy that.
exactly. And I'll tell you, we eat at our favorite Mexican restaurant at least once a week, but it's not out of the ordinary for us to sometimes go twice a week. But I believe in balance. I eat healthy. The rest of the one place that I go to that I'm going to eat whatever it is that they have, and I don't care what kind of oils they cook in. I mean, there's no telling what they cook it in. It's probably horrible, but I
Probably.
eat well. Yeah, I eat well all the other time. That's just something that my husband and I, we just enjoy Mexican food. We love, not only is it the food, but this restaurant we've been going to for about 4 years now. And it's like all the waiters, they know you. It's like you're going to have
Yep.
dinner with family. You can't just help but just love that atmosphere.
Yep. Yep. I understand that. Uh, yeah, we have the same thing, you know. You get used to a waiter and you hope that you get the waiter that you're used to when you walk in the door. And 9 times out of 10 they will.
Right, right.
But okay, so we both ratted each other out or ratted ourselves out about eating too many chips at the Mexican restaurant, and also about we don't know what type of oils they're using to fry in or anything like that. But you know what? You got to live a little bit.
Exactly. That's why I say it's balanced. Now, I'll tell you what I do is that when I know that we're going to go eat there, I make sure that earlier in the day, maybe an hour or two before we go eat, is that I make sure that I at home have some carrots and broccoli, something really nutritious.
Mm-hmm.
Because like when we go, my husband and I, we usually share fajitas. That's our big thing. We get an order of fajitas, we share it. There's always so much food between the two of us to eat, that we even sometimes bring some home. So we eat, but I wouldn't say we just like super pig out, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I make
Vicky,
sure that I eat something good on the front end.
Vicky and I do that too. We'll get an order of fajitas sometimes and share them, and it's hey, that's plenty enough for two people there.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Right.
So listen, let's talk about snacks. Do you have snacks?
Not, no, I don't. That is something that has just sort of evolved over time. And I just, in the before I started intermittent fasting, I snacked all day long.
Yeah.
When I started intermittent fasting, I had to pack those emergency snacks because I was afraid I was going to get hungry in the beginning. But pretty much, I can't even remember the last time I've ever just had a snack. Now, if I had a snack like during my time restricted eating, it's not a snack like potato chips or anything like that. It might be a snack of fresh vegetables, a boiled egg, some ranch dressing, some nuts, cheese, but it's substantial.
Yeah. It's
But
good.
no snack. I don't really snack.
Well, I remember before I started this, and now I don't even think about it anymore. I used to keep a box of Cheez-Its on top of the refrigerator, and I would get up in the middle of the night, and I would have to have a handful or two of Cheez-Its, and then I'd go right back to bed, you know.
Gosh.
And gosh, a box of Cheez-Its just didn't last that long, when you're doing that.
Yeah. Aren't you glad you're not doing that anymore?
Oh my goodness. You know what my favorite snack is now?
What's that?
If I have a snack, it's peanuts.
Yes, I like any kind of nuts.
Yeah, I like peanuts, and I don't consider them to be, it's a whole lot better than eating a Twinkie. So listen, are there any foods that you avoid during your eating windows that would make you not comfortable or make you bloated or anything like that?
Huh. That's a good question. Because I can't think of anything that I can't I can't think of anything that I avoid because it would make me uncomfortable, but there are things that I avoid that I don't like. I do not like beets. I don't like pickled beets. I don't like fresh beets. I like no beets at all. So I can't think of anything that I would avoid that would make me sick per se or not feel good. But I can definitely tell you that I don't like those.
Hmm. Well, you've been doing this 5.5 years. You've had a long time to weed out things that you don't like and things that would make you uncomfortable or things that would make you feel bloated.
Well, I will tell you this: like if we go to Costco, they have the hot dogs and the ice cream and all that,
Yeah.
pizza. When you check out, you can go get the hot food. Typically, when we go to Costco, my window is not open, so I'm not even going to eat that because if I were to open my window and eat it, that wouldn't make me feel great. So I guess maybe that might be kind of like what you're talking about. I never really thought about that, but I would not choose, even though I like hot dogs and the ice cream at Costco, I wouldn't necessarily choose to have that every time I go. Once in a blue moon, I might say, hey, you know what? My window's open. I am going to have an ice cream cup.
Yep. Well, do
So
you like hot dogs?
I do. I do.
What do you put on your hot dog?
I like them grilled, of course. That's the best way. And
Do
I
you
like,
like them? Do you like them where they're slightly burnt?
oh, yes. And I like on my hot dogs, I want mustard, a lot of mustard. I want
Yeah.
good sauerkraut,
Yeah.
and I want dill pickle relish.
Oh,
And that's it. That's so good to me. And
I'll take
sometimes
I'll
like,
I'll take mustard and sauerkraut and chili any day of the
okay,
week.
okay, I can do without the chili,
And
but I
and
love.
I'm talking so much chili that you can't hold it in your hand and eat it. You got to put it on a plate and eat it with a fork. That's the way to eat a hot dog.
Yes, I do like hot dogs. Yes.
Okay. We like hot dogs. We like Conecuh sausage dogs and all like that. Matter of fact, we had some back on the 4th of July. I cooked a bunch of Conecuh sausage dogs, and they were so good.
I bet.
So, do you take any type of supplements?
Yes, I do. I take magnesium, which I take the Bioptimizers. Some of you may be familiar with that. I take that every night. I take a multivitamin. I don't take a multivitamin all the time. I don't know. It's just I take one every now and then, but not necessarily every day because I feel like I get plenty of nutrition from my food. Um, I used to take probiotics, but I've not been taking probiotics for the last 3 or 4 months because I feel like I eat enough yogurt and enough other things that I don't need to add that.
Bingo.
And let's see, what else do I take? I'm sitting here looking in my kitchen. My husband and I just started taking creatine about 3 or 4 days ago. I don't know if I've been hearing a lot of good things about creatine, and I'm not talking about trying to get, muscular or anything like that, but it's supposed to be good for muscle recovery. And it's supposed to also be good as you get older for your mental and cognitive function. So there's
Yeah.
a lot of benefits to that. We just started adding that in about 3 or 4 days ago.
Well, what I take is every night or every afternoon/evening. I'm big on fiber, and I've been taking Metamucil for years because it helps me. It may not help anybody else, but it helps me in a lot of ways. And when I mix up that Metamucil, uh, I will break open capsules of my magnesium, and if it's in a capsule, I'll break it
Uh-huh.
open and put it in there and drink it down like that. And I'll also shoot in there a couple of shots of, I've got some cayenne pepper drops, and
Oh.
that's supposed to be really good for your circulation and
Mhm.
things like that. So I
Yeah.
take magnesium, I take B12 on occasion. And if I don't get out in the sunshine, like today, the sun is not really shining, I'm going to take a vitamin D
Okay.
as part of my thing, because vitamin D is something we need. And
Exactly.
so I'm right in there with you about the supplements, and I take a multivitamin when I feel like I need it.
Right. I think I'm just kind of hit or miss.
Yeah,
And
I am on that, but that magnesium, I take that every night, because you
oh
know what?
yeah, I don't
It make
forget mine.
it makes me sleep like a log, you know.
It does help.
So you're big on the supplements there. Now, let's talk something that's tricky though. And you've already hit at it just a little bit by going to Costco, but how do you handle social events where
Well,
where there's gonna be food?
sometimes I eat and sometimes I don't. It depends on if it's the food is going to be something that I really would enjoy. If you're just going to serve me you know, a hamburger that's not special or it's just going to be a buffet or something like that, I probably would skip it unless it was something I really wanted. I don't know. I just decide if I want to eat or not.
Yeah.
I don't beat myself up over it. It's just, do I want the food? Does it look good? The social aspect of it, it doesn't bother me to not eat if other people are eating. But of
Me,
course, if I went into someone's home and they invited me to come have dinner, of course I would eat because that's different.
that was one of the things when I first started fasting. Uh, Vicky didn't quite know how to handle it, and she would say, "Is it going to bother you if I eat this?" And I said, "No, go right ahead. This is
Yeah.
You do you, I'll do me."
Yes. And it does not bother me to be fasting and people be eating around me. It does not bother me at all. Not at all.
Yeah,
And, if someone offered me something, a baked good or something, I would say, oh, I'll take it and I'll have it for later. I wouldn't feel like I have to eat it right that second.
yeah, yeah. So, foods that make fasting easier or harder for you?
If I were to overindulge in the alcohol portion of Mexican dinner, that alcohol is going to make the next day harder to fast through.
Really?
Yes, for me it
Okay.
does. If
Okay.
if on the occasions that I overindulge, now I'm not saying I overindulge all the time.
If I were to eat a couple of Krispy Kreme donuts before I went to bed, the next day is going to be horrific.
Yes, and I think pizza. If I eat a lot of pizza in the evening, it can make the next day hard. And I'm sure it's just from the carbs. But
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
carbs and alcohol. I think those do make the day harder.
I have found if you get a sneaking feeling, and like I said, I've been doing this a year and a half now. You've been doing it 5.5 years. But I have learned that if maybe I eat something like maybe I have spaghetti for supper, and I like spaghetti, I like the pasta, I do. But if I have spaghetti and I get the feeling like, well, this is going to trip me up tomorrow because of all the carbs in it,
Mm-hmm.
I'll eat that big spoon of peanut butter right before I go to bed. And it's like it just takes care of that.
Well, that makes sense because of the protein.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a great idea.
Yeah. It works for me. I don't know if it works for anybody else, but I swear by it. Now,
Oh,
let's talk about something that you and I have talked a lot about: hydration, getting enough
yes.
water and getting enough fluids. And of course, we both drink coffee. We both, do you drink hot tea?
No, I do not. You know what's funny about tea is before I started fasting, I loved unsweet tea. I always
Uh-huh.
did like unsweet tea. Sweet tea, unsweet tea, but unsweet tea was my favorite. And when I started fasting, I would get through the afternoon by having some unsweet tea. And then I don't know, probably 3 months down the road, all of a sudden, I could not stand unsweet tea.
Isn't it
And
crazy?
isn't this crazy? I do not like unsweet tea at all. I do not like the flavor of tea, and I don't like it. I don't like hot tea. But that's crazy because I used to live off of unsweet tea and
Hmm.
forget sweet tea. That's just disgusting.
Well, the people can't see it because, but me and you are watching each other on cameras. You see this little container right
I know
here in
it's
my
in
hand?
there.
I'll give you one guess as to what's inside this container.
Redmond's real salt.
Redmond's real salt. You got it, girl. And what do we do with Redmond's real salt?
We put it in our water first thing in the morning and maybe even all throughout the day.
All throughout the day. I'll do it all throughout the day because listen, I have gotten accustomed to the taste of just that little pinch of salt in the water. And it's like, I'll drink some water that don't have it in it. I'm like, what's wrong with this water?
Yes.
So, so hydration, how many do you, are you, you can go overboard with water.
Yes, you can.
There's studies on that. I listen, people out there in podcast land, I invite you to do diligence and check things out. And if you think you need to drink 2 gallons of water a day, well, hey, listen, you don't live in the Sahara Desert, so it
Yes.
might be doing you more harm than good, but you still got to have enough.
Right. And not just water, like you said, if you're doing a lot of sweating or anything, or you're drinking a lot of water, you need to replace those electrolytes.
Okay.
So,
Well, let me ask you another question.
mhm.
Uh, there are days when you do not go for one of your 5 mile walks, right?
Right.
And there are days when you don't work out in your home gym, right?
Right.
On those days, do you eat any different than you would on days that you're going to go and walk 5 miles up and down the hills?
Do I eat any differently? I don't. I don't intend to eat differently, but I think sometimes my appetite increases and I do need to eat more when I go do more strenuous stuff.
Okay, which brings us to a wonderful point, and that's cravings. And when when I don't know, but they say when women are pregnant, they go through all these cravings, and it's usually something that their body needs.
I believe that.
And I believe that when you're doing intermittent fasting, I believe the same thing happens, not just to me, to women, but to men also.
hmm
I believe people crave. And so there's days when you go and work out and then you start craving something, you should probably eat it.
Exactly. Um, and it's funny because you really can tell. Your body will tell you if it's wants something in particular. Um, my thing lately has been bananas.
Mm,
Maybe it's because it's so hot and I'm sweating so much. Maybe it's my body telling me that I need that extra potassium because I do sometimes get Charlie horses in the back of my legs at night. So it's like,
did you know, and this blew me away, the number one money maker, the number one product, there's more of it sold at Walmart than anything else at Walmart, is bananas.
really?
Yes. I
That's
read
bananas.
that. I read that and I said, I never would have thought that.
Well, that just sounds like bananas. That's crazy. I would never have thought that.
Okay. Well, let's talk the final thing here. Since you started fasting and since you've gotten locked in, let's talk about the changes between before you fasted and now. What about portion sizes?
Well, there again, my portion sizes some days are huge. You wouldn't believe how much food I put away. And then other days, it might just be one plate. Not that I do that often, but I don't know. My portion sizes vary from day to day depending on, I don't know. It's just, I don't do it intentionally. It's just, I just seem to know how much I need to eat. What was your question again? Because I think I went off.
Well, the reason, and you're going to comment on this, I'm sure. The reason that I'm getting to this point is because I see people who want to treat intermittent fasting as if it was some kind of a diet.
No, it's
And
not
so
a diet.
they think that, well, if I just don't eat much, or if I just eat salad, or if I just eat this, in very, very little amounts, then it'll help me with my weight loss. Well, it might help you with your weight loss, but it's not going to help you with your health.
Right. And it's not going to help you with your satiety and your signals and things like that, because you're probably always going to still be hungry looking for that next thing. You have to just really nourish your body with foods and with the right kind of foods. And someone just starting out, what they need to focus on is not so much changing what they're eating right now, but work on their fasting and their eating within their window and getting satiety from what they're eating. And then over time, they can start working on food choices.
I cannot see the word satiety written out and pronounce it correctly, because my brain, I don't know why it goes, I want to say satiate. I can't even pronounce it if I say it, but if I just am talking in conversation, I can say satiety.
I struggle with that one. But
well, listen, this has been an absolutely wonderful conversation today.
Yes,
and
it has.
Maybe next time we can do this same conversation and Jilene can get free from curves or her many jobs. She's got about 14 jobs, I think. And she can get free and do it with us. Sheila, yes. It's been wonderful talking to you today.
You too. You too.
Always is. And tell everybody goodbye.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
If you need more information on fasting and want to join with a community of people who embrace this lifestyle, let us recommend that you go to Facebook and search for Intermittent Fasting for the Win, and also search for Clean Fasting Jilene. Either of these groups will help you along the way. Also, the book Intermittent Fasting for the Win by Michael Saunders is available on Amazon.com. We also recommend that you read Jen Stevens' books, Delay, Don't Deny, and Fast, Feast, Repeat. Thanks, and make sure to subscribe to this channel so that you will know when the latest episodes become available. We'll see you next time.